Hello everybody, my name's Ardendrous, and welcome back to Sunless Sea. Last time, if we go out of here and take a look at the map real quick, things haven't really changed all that much. But quite a bit was accomplished. We started here in Avatar Horizon after going through the deliveries for Eldritch Santa Claus, which is something from a couple episodes ago. Something's the best word I have to describe it. But anyways, we took off to Mount Palmerston, where we picked up the Merciless Modest, who is very important for our father's missing bones. We need, among other things, the heart of a legend's heart. And there are 4 options to get this in the game. To list 2 of them here, Mount Nomad or the Tree of Ages, which are both like super strong boss monsters you have to beat out in the Unterzee that we're probably never going to be able to beat at this point. But the other 2 are the hearts of the Pirate Poet or the Merciless Modest. If we look at the Merciless Modest, there are 2 options for her. Invite the Modest to dinner, which will continue on her storyline, and eventually get us to the point where we could get the Pirate Poet heart, because they have a sort of rivalry. Or we challenge the Modest to her favorite game. For her secrets, you get a 22% chance to gain Veils. If we win this, there's also 2 options again. Take your reward and help her up and get her treated. Or take your reward and take her heart. Very gruesome, I know. But it is probably going to be the easiest heart to get. Sadly, it would mean losing her, obviously, because she is a very strong first officer. 8 iron, 3 veils, and 1 heart. Our other first officer gives 6 mirrors, which is obviously a different stat. 3 veils. So we're currently giving up 6 mirrors for 8 iron and a heart, which is like really good. But yeah, the Merciless Modest is going to be our gateway to picking up the heart we need for the Fathom King. We also need, where is it? A fruit of the eternal tree for the Fathom King. And that brings us into the next thing we did last episode. We traveled over to Irem, and before we'd never actually been able to explore anything Irem because we need coffee beans to enter. Or a bag of coffee beans. And doing the story there, in a bit of a story mission that used up our coffee beans and required a searing enigma, of which we had 1, we were able to pick up the Hesperidian apple. Based purely off the picture for it, it's exactly the same. The fruit of the eternal tree. So yeah, last time was like really good for completing stuff on this page. All we need is a willing guest for the Fathom King, then an eldest end for the Fathom King, and a Miracle of Science. Miracle of Science, we're basically just waiting until we go to London and pick up the right recruit. A willing guest. There's 2 options for that one. We either need to go to Vanderbilt and hopefully pick up on a random chance the bandaged cook and go through his storyline. Or we can go to the storyline of this guy. And for the eldest end, again, it's the Colors mission in Vanderbilt or the Port Cecil mission involving this guy. So basically, you got to get lucky and fall in London to get the right recruits. And then it's a lot of work with either Port Cecil or Vanderbilt. But anyways, we've gone over that several times already. So, after taking a look at the map that helps tell us where everything is in the reference map, we decided to travel down and explore this tile here because it was 50-50 shot it had one of the last two islands we haven't seen. The Empire of Hands. So we went through, we got here, we've started exploring it. It's an island full of sentient, technically monkeys, but don't call them that. Going through some stuff, we searched around the island a little bit. We couldn't speak to the mayor and get some stuff done. We can't quite make the port reports because we have to go through for location things first. And we've gone through the first two, a volcanic island, just going towards the Emperor's mansion, or whatever, Emperor's palace, and couldn't really do much there yet because we don't have a gift for them. And we went to a hot springs and got our clothes stolen from a monkey girl. Or human child that was shipwrecked and then taken in by the monkeys. Ow! Just hit my hand on my desk. But anyways, last two things to scout are the Fountainhead Island or in the Heartsake Island. So let's just jump into it. Fountainhead Island. Ancient secrets peek out of the trees. Any may visit, but few penties ever bother to make the pilgrimage. A young, ancient empire. The Empire of Hands isn't hardly as old as they pretend, but mimicry and theft infuses their whole culture. If the penties have come to think that rulers should be buried in ancient tombs, then it is ancient temples they will build. It would hardly be the first time their attempts to mirror humanity have entirely missed the point. Swiftly growing vegetation keeps a thick forest wrapped around variably ancient ruins. Even the yet-to-be plundered ones are heavily scarred with crowbar marks. If we had something awaits us in an ancient-ish treasure map, we could do something else here. A temple in the forest. In a clearing of parasynthetic trees looms an imposing structure of wood and stone. The Vault of the First Emperor. It stretches through the forest in a mix of stone and wood, its style at the mercy of the Pentecost apes' current whimsies and inspirations. It would take a dedicated team to break in and uncover its secrets. Perhaps you'll bring one here later. So I guess we return to the boat. It will take a better equipped expedition to uncover this island's secrets and treasures. An investigation for another day. Perhaps there is someone in Fallen London who might be able to help you get to the treasures of this island. Okay. Oh yeah, forgot to mention. The monkeys here became sentient because they ate human souls. Yeah, anyways, back to the story. As if that's... At this point, that really is just a normal thing for this game to just blurt out, right? That's... Like, legitimately, didn't show this. If we go over to the mayor, we could straight up just sell our soul to the mayor. That's a thing. This place is weird. This game is weird. Anyways, Heartsake Island. A thin pillar of greasy yet appetizing smoke rises from the only human settlement in the Empire. The Blumenbach Quarantine. The Admiralty has never stated precisely why it seeks to keep the Empire confined, though most opposition to it fades once opposers actually encounter a Pentecost ape. They have been easy to corral, however. They do not lack wit, there is not an inventive bone Though they do not lack wit, there is not an inventive bone in their hairy bodies. And no amount of stolen humanity has taught them the art of creating engines. So I imagine any monkeys that dares, row too far out on, little wooden boats would probably got shot out of the water. The survivors of a pirate expedition have stolen this land, where apes are unwelcome except as an entree. The Lost Treasure Hunter. He squints at a map, muttering incoherently. Or approach the village. Greasy smoke and guiltily tempting aromas arise from a collection of huts around a long-beached pirate ship, and a field of pointedly impaled monkeys. Oh. Let's go with the Lost Treasure Hunter first, I guess. North of each city, the bats have brought down. He wipes his brow. Have you seen a big X on the ground by any chance? I got these 4 map pieces that got me this far and said X would mark the spot, but I can't find an X anywhere. He looks at the map sadly. It should be here, it says. Now where am I supposed to dig? He is too busy to talk right now, but adds that he will be in the village later if you want to trade adventuring supplies. Don't try the meatballs, he warns, getting back to research. You just don't want to do that. Be concerned. Also, yes, when you're looking for treasure, there was always just a giant X on the ground. Anyways, let's approach the village. Yeah, an explosion almost takes off your head. Sorry about that, booms the boisterous pirate, lowering a smoking blunderbuss as bits of shattered tree rain down. New arrival, are we? Well, if you haven't got a tail, you're all right by me. He squints, momentarily suspicious. You don't have a tail, do you? Wouldn't put it past the thieving little buggers to go shaving one of their own. With no fair play if it kicked them right up the butt. Nope, can't continue that voice. His voice is louder than his blunderbuss. The congealed meat juices in his thick beard are better not considered. Heartsake Village. It was not madness that drove these pirates to cannibalism, but years of being shipwrecked without the comfort of meat. After a while, any meat will do. Dine at the captain's table. All are welcome to share the pirate's wealth, provided they have the stomach for it, and the table manners. Uh-oh. We did sort of become a cannibal a couple episodes ago. Why not? A feast of forbidden flesh. It is not a table, but a long plank from the pirate's old vessel, stretched along the sand and set with a bone cutlery whittled from their fallen. Once grace is duly spoken, everyone dives into the bounty, snatching up thigh and heart and strips of tender meat, dripping in well-crisped fat. Not with your fingers, boy! The boisterous pirate booms at one hungry soul with juice dripping from his lips. We are hardly savages. He considers his pirates. We are hardly ever savages. He corrects, exploding with a laugh that threatens to shake the table clear. Why could we only do that if we didn't have wounds? Interesting. You gained unaccountably peckish level 4, gained 5 terror, and lost 20 hunger. Let's not do that again. Return to the boat. They seem a friendly sort and are shocked at the idea that they would ever be such poor hosts as to eat a guest. But then, they have no shortage of supplies. Back to Port Stanton. The Z is quiet. The journey is pleasingly uneventful. You have not been eaten by cannibal pirates. All things considered, a successful trip. Exploration is complete. Perhaps you can use the information you've gleaned. Prepare a comprehensive port report. You have reason to brave the waters this far east, especially with the trade embargo. The Admiralty will pay especially well for up-to-date intelligence. The islands of the Empire. All of them warrant further attention. For now, though, it would be best to see if your initial discoveries can whet the interest of anyone back home. And I'm assuming that's probably all we can do here. We've gone through everything else. We can probably use this to go back to any of the islands. You make a note to return later. Until then, business awaits elsewhere. If only the monkeys had proper ships, their islands would have proper docks capable of handling yours. Oh well. You will need the help of someone in Fallen London to continue exploring the Empire of Hands. Check your lodgings after submitting your port report. Okay, so we're done here. Got up to... Actually, haven't gotten up to any monkey business yet. It's just some dealings with the locals. But anyways, with that said and done, don't have any more reason to hang out here. Except for apparently as soon as we try to leave, the game's gonna freeze up. It looks like it's mostly solved itself. Now, there's one more island here that I don't actually remember if we've been to or not. If we have been to it, we haven't got much of the story there. Like, the last island we haven't seen on this map is Polythreme. I just saw the, like, there it is. Avoid that thing at all costs. We've entered a fog bank. There's one more island in this little tile here that I want to stop at. And I don't actually remember if we've been here before and just didn't get much story, or if it was just an unrememberable story. I feel like we might not have been here yet. The tides... Why are we getting the scary music? We're only at 55 terror. The tides of appetite are... Oops. Some distance to the northwest. Why did the Z-Bat tell me about that? It's nothing there. Only 3 miss some distance to the south. Some distance, that's quite a bit, actually. This isn't looking familiar. I think we legitimately haven't been here, so this is going to be our last island setting foot on. Not for this run, but across all our runs at least. I don't actually remember if any of the story stuff we need to do has us coming to Polythreme, but it's going to be nice to check it out at least. Supplies and fuel-wise, I think we're still going to be okay. Just gotta avoid running into anything, and... Polythreme. Okay, we definitely haven't been here. For sure. Okay. Oh, we could buy a Clayman if we wanted to. This trio of clay stokers will reduce crew requirements, but also crew capacity, and will slightly increase engine power. They are fitted to the auxiliary slot. When they are not in use, they will stand patiently, hands by their side, flat gray eyes unreadable. One will say sometimes, I like it when it is quiet. That's actually pretty nice. Too bad it takes up 3 crew spots. We'll think about that as we look through the story here. Here is screaming. Polythreme. Taciturn clay men. Taciturn clay men. Evasive closed colonies, walking like humans. Cobbles that grown underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble. But even that rots like buried bones in an earthquake. Gather intelligence. What's new from Polythreme? Here's our port report. What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands, but there is unrest in the air. The claymen you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not. The maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. Like, perchance a certain pirate poet? Drink beer that... Sure, leave. Drink beer that whales from cups that sob, if you like that sort of thing. Polythreme is an expensive place to reduce terror. It's not that expensive. Okay, it's 30 for 1. It is expensive. An uneasy respite. Under other circumstances, your crew might have been happier. Okay, not going to do that again. Carry Clayman to London. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable. Unless, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. You should have 6 units of cargo space available. We have exactly 6. We might do that. An audience with the king with the 100 hearts, if we had a watchful curio. We could have actually bought one of these in Irem. I don't remember how expensive it was, though. So, nothing really here to do. We have 6 spots exactly, so let's do this. They troop aboard. Each one lies down in its appointed position next to the other, nested snugly, head by foot. "We are for London," one explains to you. You now have 6 claymen, marked for London. Okay. So nothing really here. We'll probably pick up some cash for bringing those back. Well, not much besides that. Okay. With that, I'm gonna start bringing us back towards Fallen London. I'm probably gonna stop at like Nuncio and the Salt Lions just to like pick up the port reports there, so we'll get a little bit extra when we land in Fallen London. If I happen to get any new story bits or anything, I'll show those on camera. But otherwise, it's just going to be something to turn in when we get in Fallen London. So, I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, I actually brought us back in Nuncio, because I stopped to pick up the port reports, and this is actually a different story bit, so I figured probably read it through. Assemble a port report. Those who live here deserve a better justification in the eyes of the world. The Admiralty won't understand, but you can do your best to explain it all away. The theology of postal work, the pull, the scarred obedience of postmen, the attention to detail that is both petty and sacred, the anguish, the camaraderie among the sufferers, the willingness to endure visitors, even visitors who do not understand their tribulations and ask foolish, ill-informed questions. Oh, nice. We now pick up a Memory of Distant Shores whenever we pick that up here. Then we're going to do this, I think. Did this lower terror? I don't remember. Nope. Okay, never mind. I just saw that was a... Oh, I guess we'll explore along the beach. Rescue a squashy parcel. Accepting no further, says a red scrawl across the wrapping. A funny smell. And little wonder, this string of rats within may once have been fresh and, to certain taste, delectable. It is now rather the worse for decay. Giving the parcel's contents a hasty burial is the best you can do, or the best you can hope for. Just before you dispose of it, though, note the recipient's name and address. A name of some power, worth remembering. Gain a couple of fragments, that's it. Okay, figured I'd bring us back for a little bit of a different storyline here in Nuncio. But with that done, once again, gonna stop at the Salt Lions next, pick up that report, and then stop at Fallen London. So, barring nothing else, see you in London. Okay, brought us back for something. I took a turn to, like, avoid a monster, and that turn ended up taking us all the way up to, like, Gatorsmorn. And so I had something awaits us in port, so it was just like, okay, I'll go through it, and got an event we've already seen before. But then I clicked a different option than before, and I figured I'd probably mention, we got the view from above, where we got a choice of, like, thinking about our child, or our lover, or our past, or something like that. So I picked the past as a soldier option. And then we got a different pop-up. Years before you came to Z, fighting the enemies of the reduced empire, losing good friends in the marshy borderlands of the underworld. New victories. In the army, you served men too rich to fight and stupid to leave you alone. Out here, you are the only commander. The ship is your own empire. You've never felt stronger. Just gain 5 iron. That's that's pretty nice, isn't it? We're up to 51 iron just by ourselves. Before we add on any bonuses. And that's all we can do here. So, now, bring you back to London. As soon as we left Gatorsmorn, we ran into like one of the larger pirate vessels and figured this is probably something I should get on camera. Because these things I think can hit pretty strong. This isn't even one of the like pirate poet classes, it's the one above that. It's gonna get a shot on us. Unless it pulls away. Ah, I fired too early. Fuel is getting a little dangerous, but we should get fuel as a reward for beating this thing. Also, our weapon does 20 to 26 now, which is, like, really nice. There we go. Doom scuttle her. 2 supplies, 2 fuel, and a cache of curiosities. What is it? This is, like, the 5 supplies thing, I think. Okay. Give up 2 supplies. Yeah. I know this is like the 4th time I say now on to London, but this time for real, now on to London, no more distractions. As I said, no more interruptions on the way to Fallen London. I did stop at, whatever the place is called, I don't quite remember. It's the Hunter's Keep, the one with the 3 sisters. I did stop there, pick up the port report, and have lunch with the sisters, because I remembered that they gave you the god's attentions. And I had lunch with 2 of the younger sisters, and got Storm and Stone's attention. The one we need is Salt. But I have a feeling if we go there again and go with the older sisters, the oldest sisters option, we'll get Salt's attention too. Like maybe each of the sisters is favored by one of the 3 gods. And maybe if we go back and have lunch with the oldest sister, next time we'll pick up Salt's, which is what we need for the Port Cecil mission. So we're gonna try that out. But anyways, here in London. I was like, do we have one of the specific ones we need for him? I don't remember. Actually, where is he on this? It's in objective. Humane Canal. I couldn't remember. Whoa, hold on. We're full on cargo. London. Deliver claymen. This is where they wanted to be, or at least where they're supposed to be. Ashore. One by one they rise uncomplainingly, with no trace of stiffness or discomfort from the long voyage. The deck resounds beneath their heavy tread. A shroom yard manager waits on dock, tapping her foot. About time, she says. Here's your payment. Come along now, you. There's a good construct. There's a good construct. Okay. A new recruits. I saw the number we have. We keep getting 6. Why do we keep getting 6? Interestingly, we didn't get the pop-up when we came in that takes away, that brings you down to 50 terror. You only get that when something awaits you here in London is on the screen, because we didn't have that. Interesting. But now we have 6 cargo spots open. Oh, we can make 7 more by going to the Venturer's Desire. We almost have enough outlandish artifacts for that, actually. Something perilous. We've already went through this before. It'll give us... I clicked it. 500 Echo for 7 when they only cost like 19 apiece, so... 7 bales of parabola linen. Or... 7 Stygian ivory. And obviously you can't buy any of that stuff here. I was like, can you? I don't remember. Well, you can buy parabola linen. 120 a piece, so that would be 840, right? Yes, 840. Okay, so you'd actually lose money for that one. Not going to do that then. Don't think we have anything for the Alarming Scholar. We have some stuff we could give up if we wanted to, but I don't think we want to give anything up right now. Don't think we have anything for you. Okay, so the Dark Speckled Admiral it is. Submit your port reports. Gatorsmorn. Whatever. Hunter's Keep, again. Mount Palmerston. Nuncio. Avid Horizon. Isle of Cats. Just so many we've already read through before. Salt Lions. I don't remember if we actually got a chance to read through the Irem one. We didn't. Oh god, what tense is it written in? Oh god, look, just how... Just read it to my colleague here. He'll give you your fee. I'll be over there when you're done. Just had no interest in that one. Polythreme. The king with 100 hearts. What a useful fellow. Without his exports, I'd be delivering my own coal. Up to 19 favors. Nice. 50 echo and fuel. Empire of Hands. Oh goodness, what are those accursed monkeys up to these days? You didn't bring any of them back with you, did you? Such a ghastly place. A pause. You know, there was somebody here asking about it only recently. Delightful lady, as I recall. Most delightful. Yes, I shall take the liberty of forwarding her your address. 300 echo, nice. Good there. Assuming probably don't have anything to do with the Rose Market, never have before. Extraordinary Implications or Unread Logs. Have never found either of those. Dry Dock, we are a little beat up, so... We're at over half health. Let's just spend the... Well, it's only an extra 25 to go up to full. And I don't feel like using the... favors right now. Lodgings then. Oh. You can't recruit someone and spend time with your family, apparently. Let's read the morning paper. We're gonna need that. We only have 3 spots. Mr. Sachs left us a present, then? An invitation to Benthic College. Your travels have got someone's attention. Let's go with it. Benthic College is pleased to invite you to an exclusive and educational evening with Lady Agatha Treadgold, delightful adventuress and raconteuse of thrilling true tales of feist and spunk. On the back is a scribbled note. Come speak to me afterwards, darling. Opportunity beckons. Opportunities are always worth exploring, at least. Let's attend. A trip to Benthic. Benthic is the most open-minded of the London colleges. You find yourself waiting for the lecture in a queue of students, devils, and bohemians, observed with some scorn by passerbys in Somerset colours. The delightful adventuress. Her feet have trodden lands most in the Neath have never even heard of. Her eyes have seen every opportunity for fame and glory while there. An evening with the delightful adventuress. Whoever she is, she knows how to pack a hall. Not a seat is empty as she takes the stage. The fine cuisine of the Chelenate, the darling Clayman, all but a prelude, my dears. His stories tend towards the fanciful and conveniently unprovable, but the delightful adventuress has the credulous audience spellbound for hours. Many of her tales of monsters and lost cities have a common theme. She visited them ahead of a certain Lady Leonora Fortescue, the quite adorable, daring archaeologist with whom she sparked a bracing rivalry back at finishing school. The rest are tales, bitter as the sour grapes, of being cheated or triumphs by the very same Fortescue, whose fanciful fictions are fit only for the penny dreadfuls. By the end, her stories are notably more bitter than boastful. She still receives a standing ovation. Monkey Business is now 14. A business proposition. The delightful adventuress's masked clayman, Barnabas, escorts you to the principal of Benthic's study, where she sits sipping brandy by the fire. Ah, my dear Capitano. Firelight glints in her eyes as she raises the glass. I hear you more recently returned from the Empire of... Oh, monkeys? Hands. Yes, of course. It is a rare breed that can make such a voyage. Foolhardy, too, perhaps. She sips her brandy. I wish to charter your no doubt fine vessel to that primitive little island chain. There I shall find what I need to show up the infernal Leonora Fortesque once and for all. And you? The delightful adventurer squints, sizing you up. Sufficient compensation will not be a difficulty. A most mutually beneficial arrangement, you will agree. Sure, why not? It is a long voyage, but you know the way. Her feet have trodden lands most... We already read that bit. Sure, let's accept. Splendid! The delightful adventuress drains her glass dry. And we shall see you upon the morrow for the voyage. Barnabas, pack my valise. Whatever. Adventure awaits. You now have one delightful adventuress. Okay. Ah, she's in the hold. Put her in the brig, she doesn't care. We don't care about the 2001, right? Yeah, we go down in hold capacity, which we just don't want. The next one, the first one that actually upgrades hold capacity is 7,000 Echo, which is like somewhat dumb. We're not even halfway there after playing for like, what is this, episode 34? 33? I think 32 went up yesterday, so 33. Don't quite remember. No, yesterday was 33, today's 34. I was right. But okay, we have someone taking up a hold slot now. I wish I could get rid of some of the stuff, but I think we need most of it. I know we need the wine, I know we need the skintalag, I know we need the strange catches. We need at least one zoop, I think. I think we can get rid of the spider silk, but that's just going to make up one slot, and that's not really enough for anything. Anyways, I think that's it for here. Where are we going? We're going to run up to Vendor Bite. We're going to stop at Hunter's Keep first, see if we can't get Salt's attention. So... yeah. I think... yeah, we're going to stop at Hunter's Keep. I'll bring us back there, and hopefully we get what we're looking for. So, 1 second. Okay, we're back here in Hunter's Keep. It's a good thing we picked up that recent news, because we didn't pick up something awaits us back in port yet. Might as well just pick up the port reports. So now we have something awaits you in port, or a recent news. The only thing we were going to suspend recent news on otherwise would have been Z story, and we already have like 10 of those already, so I guess it's fine. But anyways, this one gave us stone, this one gave us storm, I think. So, we've already read through this, so I'm not really going to read through it again. I'm just hoping that I remember what this gives us, and that it gives us Salt's attention. But luncheon with the oldest sister, Cynthia, the eldest, melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and entangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside, above a wide blue lake, listening to a story of a murder. An axe, a net, blood on scented water. And let it chop? Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid to wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. Gain a terror, a tale of terror. Gain a supply. Lost all our hunger. Iron remains unchanged. And would you look at that? You now have the gods of the Z, Salt's attention. It's like real nice. Whenever we next go to the Salt Lions, we can actually continue on the story there. Which might be something we do. But we're going to stop at Vendor Bite first. And just because I want to continue on with something, I think I'm actually going to either like pop in a save here or like float around Venderbite for a while until I get one of the until I get like a good roll that will actually allow us to pick up the bandaged chef. Because like at this point, I'm just waiting to get it. It's gonna be a while if I try to just like every time I come to Venderbite hope I pick it up and then leave, come back eventually. So I'm gonna spend the next few minutes trying to pick up get the right pop-up, the right roll for summoning a witch imports so that we can actually pick up the bandaged chef. So I might be a few minutes, but for you it's going to be a second, and we're going to be pulling into Venderbite. Oh my god, that was literally like 25 minutes. That was legitimately like 25 minutes. I didn't actually know if this was the right value. The sheet I was looking at that told me the values I needed to get this specific event said that it was 61 to 71? Or 61 to 70 or something like that. And just to try it, because we're pretty low on supplies now, I was able to just stop the ship out front of the port, so we weren't using fuel, but we're still using supplies up. So we're down to like 7 or 8 supplies now. So I pulled into port and figured I'll try it. I don't know if this is gonna work. But if it didn't work, I was gonna reload the save. But thankfully, it's finally the right event. After like 25 minutes, I do not like this system. Anyways, a corkscrewed street. At the twisty tip of an odd little side street, welcoming yellow lights glows from the gilt-lettered windows of a restaurant. A sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up. A grey mustache pokes imprudently out from under his bandages. Come in, come in. A bandaged poissonnier at Venderbite seeks passage with a sea captain sympathetic to intrepid cuisine. We've read through a lot of this before, but we have yet to recruit the bandaged poissonnier. The bandaged poissonnier has long wished to travel, but you'll need to outfit the galley to his exacting standards. This will recruit him as a cook. Avid enthusiasm. My captain, the things we will catch, that we will consume, that we will experience. We will discover the 7th sensation, you and I. The taste that one tastes with the heart. You there, sailor. Careful with the blazing alembic. It's worth more than your wretched soul. Probably right. We can only sell our soul for like 200 echo, so I guess that's probably pretty accurate. Anyway. I'm going to call him the bandaged cook from now on. Pretty good. 6 hearts, 3 pages. It's technically a little bit better on that front. It just doesn't give a mirrors bonus. But we don't care much about that. What do we need for this? Muter salt. That's what we're still missing. I have it written down where we get this. I don't quite remember. We can get it. Where is it on my page? Apparently we can buy those for Z stories in Wither. So we have a little bit of time. Might as well pick up the port report here. We're going to go up to Wither and see if we can't buy those real quick. So, just 1 second. Here we are, up in Wither. I stopped recording and it started going and then looked at the map real quick. I wish I'd recorded a little bit longer, because I ended up with like a strange graphical glitch for a second where it popped up that our ship had like an enemy health bar like right underneath it. And then it disappeared after like a couple milliseconds. But for a very split second, I was incredibly concerned that we were going to be eaten from some giant monster up from the depths. Anyways, there we go, meteor salt. Just sticking. Oh, we can buy things for Tales of Terror here. Nice. I think we need 2 of them. Yeah, we're gonna need a second one. Officers. Speak to the cook. Dine with the... Oh, no, 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 my captain. You shall dine with me. The great work. Your companion barely eats. He has to cut the fish into tiny morsels to squeeze it through the gap in his bandages. Soon the cloth is stained with sauce. He throws down his fork. Look at me. I am not at my best, no? Believe me, your appetite would not be so strong if I removed my bandages. How long before my fingers fail or my tongue pickles? He swirls his wine. Captain, a request. I have cooked for barons and bishops, the Count, the Empress, but there is one for whom I have not cooked, a creature of singular and achromatic tastes. I want to make a marvel. The chef's art is alchemy, and this would be my philosopher's stone, my immortality. Will you aid me? Bring your chef strange catches and live specimens to further his research. What can we do right now? Hey, have it written down. Let's hand over a strange catch for his culinary masterpiece. Hello, little friend, let us see what delight you hold. His filleting knife gleams. This is a matter of luck. You will need at least 2 useful ingredients. Disappointment. Alas, too ordinary. The flesh goes onto his shipboard Athenor stove, an edifice of his own invention that combines the functions of roasting and refinement. Steam rises. The crew lick their lips. I suppose we'll try it one more time. For right now. Disappointment. What are the odds on this? Disappointment. We have 2 more strange catches on us. Disappointment. You really gonna do this to me, game, huh? Promise. Last one. He tastes a morsel on the tip of his knife and shudders. An exquisite find, my captain. Like a devil's lips, searing. Probably fatal, but utterly worth the risk. So what, now he needs live specimens and more, strange catches? Okay, apparently what I have written down for how this works isn't entirely accurate. Okay. I do know that we need at least 1 zoop for this mission, which we have, and we need 5 things of mushroom wine, which I think we can get. And then we're going to need something called an elegiac cockatoo, which is something we're going to have to attempt to get over at Mangrove College, I think. Yes. There's a random event over in the Mangrove College where we pick up an elegiac cockatoo, which is a thing, apparently. And that's like one of the last things we need for this mission. So at least we finally picked them up, and we're slowly working through it. Anyways, probably a pretty good place to end it off. Finally picking up one of our last crew members we need. So we just need to go through the Port Cecil storyline, which we can continue now that we have Salt's attention. We just need to head over to the Salt Lions. We need to get more strange catches and live specimens for the bandaged poissonnier. We need to get lucky over in Fallen London and hopefully eventually get the right officer. But anyways, as I said, pretty good place to end it off. We've gotten some stuff done. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So, without further ado, take care everyone.